We finished Super Mario RPG, and now the time has come to fill in the in-between until we have a new Trails game to play. That's not for a few weeks yet, and we are still talking about a Mario music list, but in the in-between, we're going to go through PokeRogue. We reviewed it on the channel recently on the podcast, and if you haven't heard of this somehow, what it is on the screen. We'll get into more of the details. Don't just turn off now. But it's essentially a fan-made roguelite that is just the battle part of Pokemon with a tiny story tossed in. And I'm not going to do this alone. I brought friends today, and we're going to assemble a team based on all of us and see how we do. So first of all, Nick and Mike and Doug are here. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, very good. The last time you saw the four of us was when Endwalker dropped. So this is now, 2 years ago.
Yeah, sounds about right. Heck, we could get that going again pretty quick here.
We could also do Dawn Trail when it launches. That's true. I'm not sure I'm quite as excited as I was for Endwalker, but I am excited.
Yeah.
So let's jump into this, and we'll talk about what all this means as we go forward. Because I'm on a new browser, it looks like I haven't played before. I have, but here we go.
Oh, we're gonna have to change the settings.
Yeah, we'll probably start out slow while we show people what's going on, but don't worry, there's a 5x speed, and we will eventually be using it. This screen is important, and if you ever want to fuck around with Nintendo, you should probably make sure this is the case, and don't do stupid shit on, like, Patreon or Discord making money off of it, because that's when the DMCA results come in, so don't do that. And yes, it is a work in progress. They're doing balance upgrades and quality of life improvements constantly over time. There's usually a patch once or twice a week. So there's a small change that came in just the last couple days that's really handy that we'll talk about here in a bit. We're not worried about the game we're in slowly. My computer will probably handle it. And here we are.
Well, now that we talked about how we're not supposed to be getting Patreon and all this, where can you donate to gray areas?
Right. Just for servers, though, not for, like, personal gain, which is an important distinction. Oh, there's all different tabs for the options now, too. That's cool. I need to turn the audio down. It's too loud relative to us. You guys can't hear it at all. The people watching the video can. We'll go, like... There, we'll go quiet so there's nobody clipping through. You can still hear it in the background, but we'll go there. Let's see. Right. Gamepad's already working. It auto-configures. We'll worry about these later. We'll switch some of these up. Oh. Interesting.
Wait, what? Is that for the ones in between, you suppose?
I don't know, because as we'll get to, the regular trainer battles are set, but wild Pokemon in between those are switch by default, so I don't know what setting is which. I guess we'll find out by messing around with it later. We will turn on retries, though. We'll talk about that, too. And we'll keep the tutorials on just because it's the first time so people can see them. Obviously, I had those long since disabled in mind. Okay, well...
I'll be tech guy behind the scenes, and I'll find out what's up.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this has been
mean you're
consistently
gonna Google
updated since it came out, so that may be something I haven't seen. Oh yeah, there's all sorts of different things here now, too. Cool. Anyways... I have a run going, but we're going to start a new one, which is nice. There's multiple save slots. Because I've beaten the game in Classic, which is 200 floors, you have a couple of other options. I've actually unlocked Endless Spliced as well, but we'll just keep it Classic for now, because again, for some people this might be their first time. Now, as the text at the bottom suggests, you pick your party members, you have 10 points to spend. Certain Pokemon are worth more or less, but they're generally around 3 or 4. Legendaries, of course, are higher, but you can start with them. You can start with up to 6. Sometimes the more things you catch, the more selections you've got. We'll worry about this stuff later, but essentially the longer you go, the more things you have to choose from. So I will probably reserve my pick for last, just to see what everybody else does. Keep in mind, we are going to be hard-pressed to get 4 in, so if the 3 of you choose 3 that are going to be up to 10, then I'm going to have to just hold that L, but... You also are not allowed to have anything that costs 5 or more because we'll never get there otherwise. There's very few things that cost less than 3. Most of them suck. But
so ditto.
But if you each take a 3-pointer, then we're right about on the same track then.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll just give Nick the first overall pick because he's played this the most. Nick, what are we taking on this journey? These are all the gens.
Well, I mean, considering I wrote a whole article about it and then never even talked about it in particular, I'm thinking Mudkip.
Here is Mudkip. I don't have a lot of stuff unlocked for it. So on the left-hand side, you'll see a Mudkip. It's got a thing in the top left that's essentially like the candies you can use to unlock stuff later. It has an ability, it has a nature. We have a couple different natures to choose from. Since Mudkip is tanky, we don't really mind plus defense minus speed. We'll probably go that over neutral. I've also only got one egg move, unfortunately, which is shore up. That's, a bummer. But what is nice now is that they've put these move descriptions in the menu. Before, you just had to look at the name of it and know it. Now, we can look at them. It's wonderful. So, our Mudkip starts now with a healing move it wouldn't normally have, shore up. It's like recover, but it gets more in a sandstorm. So that's nice. Mudkip, welcome to the team. Doug.
Drowsy.
Drowsy. There he is.
Yep.
Another with a recovery move, apparently. Only seen the one, so I got one out of an egg and got one move. I don't even have a second nature to choose from. But not a bad one either. Also tanky. It already has good special defense, so I guess further leaning into that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Mike, what are we taking?
Did we establish where my boy is at, point-wise?
That would be the rest of the points.
Oh, all right, never mind.
We can do that if you want.
No, I had another one. There it is. Togepi.
Okay. I'm never going to turn down Togepi. My Togepi is very good.
Ooh, yes, it is.
You got the passive unlocked, I see.
I have all sorts of things unlocked. So on the bottom left, you can see the target icon around Togepi as we're selecting it. It has a medal, which means I've beaten the game with it. You can see several things here have medals, including Chuckle. Togepi, because of some of these moves it gets, so like Scorching Sands is great for type coverage. Moonblast, obviously, especially when it becomes a Togekiss, is especially nice. The key here is twofold. One is la 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 la. So Fiery Dance is a 50% chance to increase special attack, which is really, really nice. And can actually make him just sweep very easily. I don't currently have Roost in this setup. I guess I could grab it real quick. I got that more recently, so let's just be like, put that there, and then that there. And this isn't the most exciting, but I need to have them in a certain order or I'm going to kill myself. Okay. So we're starting with all 4 egg moves, which is a nice luxury to have. As far as abilities and stuff, yes, I had the passive unlocked, which is nice. We have a couple different choices of natures here, and this one's not a bad one. We would love like minus attack instead of minus speed, but we also have this option. Pretty tanky already, so I usually go with Rash. Oh, there it is. Calm. I do have one. Ha ha. You can unlock more of those along the way, so we like that. Ability-wise, here's the only downside. Serene Grace isn't in the game yet. So Togetic and Kiss eventually as well learns Air Slash, and that has a 30% chance to flinch. Serene Grace doubles that to 60%, so it means more than half the time if you outspeed, the opponent doesn't get to go if they live. So if anything, for the time being, wrong thing. Sorry, everybody. We might as well, like, the problem is, like, I don't want either one of these. So, like, normally you'd say, well, at least this would do something. Yeah, but that increases my attack, and I'm taking all special attacks. So we're just going to take the ability that does nothing. And with 1 point, I usually, if I have 1 point left over, bring one thing in particular, and that is back to Gen 1. It's our old pal Weedle.
Aww.
I tried to run with that, and it didn't work out so well.
Hold on, I have to mute the mics out there for the dogs. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Mics are muted. This is primarily because it can Mega Evolve, and Mega Beedrill at least is above average. It's not nearly as good as a lot of other Megas, but it can hold its own. So we'll bring him along as my guy, and we'll jump in. There's the run I have currently going. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
I have a level, like I've upgraded my Bidoof enough such that it's only 1 point to take, and it's got the 2nd level of Shiny unlocked. So that's my 1 point left to take.
That's good, just to raise the luck on the run, which we'll get to eventually too. So I guess this is switch. I wonder if it's just full-time set if you switch it to set. Since switch is selected and we have this option, which you do in these situations as a wild Pokemon, that means it could be even harder than it already is if you go to full-time set, which is interesting. We're not going to do that because it's going to be hard enough as it is, but... so we're going to say no because we like this matchup.
Indeed.
So we just see a level 2 Nincada. We could catch it if we wanted to. I don't. Or we could just kill it. It's the first floor. We're trying to get to 200. So we kill it, we get experience, and then we get the roguelite part, which is here's some things we can get. At the top are shop-type items, which we have a limited pool of money for, like revives. So it's not like a true Nuzlocke. We can bring some things back, but it also costs a third of our money. And then we also have the selection of one of these 3 items for free, as it says at the bottom. So there's all sorts of things you can get here, things that make them evolve, items, berries, some of the stuff at the top, but for free. They've also recently changed the way those work. You can't just stack infinity berries anymore. They've put limits on some of the better ones. You can move held items between Pokemon. I have not done that once, but it is a cool option. And yeah, purchase things with money. Buy them first, otherwise you keep going. So we can get a berry that gives us some health back if we get low, but I like having the map.
Really nice.
As it suggests, you get the choice of 2 and sometimes later 3 different destinations, and there's a different pool of wild Pokemon for each, but they're usually pretty self-explanatory. The dojo has fighting types mostly, and the tall grass has grass types mostly. So we'll take the map. And we stumble into our first wild battle, so that means our second position comes in. I guess this is fine. I don't know what Drowsy has to start. I guess we'll look real quick. Confusion, at least? Pound.
Good.
Disable.
Good. Great,
Recover.
great choice. For myself.
Drowsy might take a back seat for a minute.
Why?
At least until it learns a psychic move and can hold its own. Then I'm all for it, but
So experience share is on by default?
kind of.
No,
But
eventually.
not yet. Well, we're a fairy type, so let's just see what happens. One shot?
Whoa. How long does it take Togepi to get his happiness up high enough?
Doesn't have to.
Oh, really?
No. It turns into Togetic in the low 20s, if I remember right, and then it's just a matter of finding a shiny stone.
Oh. I'm used to all of the baby-like Pokemon requiring happiness to evolve.
Well, happiness is a different mechanic now, and that ties into how you get the candies that give more points for, like, making them cheaper and stuff. So, yeah, a couple handy things here. This is interesting, actually, now a new thing. Press V to reveal moves you've seen the Pokemon use. I don't know what V is on my controller. So select on my controller will show us any stat down stuff. They just use growl, so we're down a stage of attack. But we're special attackers, we don't really care. Stat start. I'm trying to find this thing that'll show me the moves. I'm now curious. Touchpad's just select. I may have to go configure it. Well, whatever. Anyways. Die.
There's Wonderwall.
Makes sad sheep noises. Now, they'll both get experience because they're both involved, but we don't have any experience shares yet. We will. So, rare candies are kind of fool's gold. If you're not bringing along legendaries or things that have really high experience thresholds to level, you usually should get to the point where you're maxing out each tier anyways. In the early going, there's certainly something to be said for it. Here, I mean, this can be handy. It also can be like attack on my Togepi, which I don't have any attacks, so that sucks. And we can always get more Pokeballs. We're not probably going to be throwing any Pokeballs for a while, but we could. We'd like better ones than this. So, weirdly enough, I'm probably going to do this because I want to get Doug's Pokemon up to speed quicker.
Yeah.
So he can participate.
I'm here.
Now, again, we will speed this up after the first 10 floors, so don't worry if you're like, well, oh my god, it's going to take forever. Trust me, we don't have the time to sit here at this speed, but, you know, for now.
Oh, can't get the 1 HK. Oh, goodness. 1 HKO.
Okay. Rock Smash is handy. More so for
Yeah,
tight
it's not-
coverage, but, you know, like, do we really
Yeah.
need tackle? No. No, we don't.
But also physical attacking.
Yeah.
Early on, not so much of a difference, but later, its age will show.
There is something to be said for lures, because
Especially
double
early
battles
on.
is double the things you can see and catch and double the experience. In the early going, it can be rough because you don't have a lot of great options.
But it's also the only way you can get multiple Pokemon experience during the fight
Yeah,
without switching them out.
correct. So, like, pros and cons. And generally, you just get more experience per tier. So what we're going to do is we're going to top off our Mudkip and take a lure. And if it brings out Togepi again, Togepi is the strongest thing we have. So that's certainly fine. Don't love this matchup. Rock Smash is 1/4. Water Gun's not much better. But we do have a thing that does fire and also potentially makes our Togepi even stronger. So,
Come on, stats up. Well, oh wait, no,
Not
actually,
there
it goes
yet.
after P.
yeah, could still happen. Nope.
No such luck.
Now, if you don't play this game competitively, you've probably ignored the X attack and X to special defense and stuff for a long time. And the only reason people really use this is in the hardcore Nuzlocke runs because everything's on a razor's edge and sometimes you need those like speed boosts or something. In this game, I actually find them to be quite useful. The problem is we have 3 Pokemon that are pretty much all special attackers right now and a Weedle I don't really intend to use until it's at least a Beedrill. So X attack's not great, even though we have a trainer battle coming up and a rival battle in the next 5. I don't really want X attack or any of this, if I'm being honest. So I guess we'll plan ahead and just put this on our Weedle to raise his attack later when he's dying. All right, these are
So-
consistent. There's some randomness coming up later, but we always have a trainer battle at 4-5. And as you can see, it's set. So we no longer get the option to switch. We don't want the option to switch. We want to fucking kill.
I want to see Togepi, like a picture of Togepi with the caption, "I want to fucking kill now."
Kill, kill, kill.
You can have anything you want at Alice's restaurant.
So, how do legendaries work in this game? Can you randomly come upon a legendary?
Yep.
Oh,
I've never encountered one of the big legendaries, like super good ones. I've ran into like the ones that are like the birds, and the I don't know if you call them dogs or whatever. Like
Yeah.
the Entei.
like well, yeah. I've run into Virizion twice, but haven't been able to catch it either time. Because one of the times I ran out of balls. But yeah, I've never seen anything more rare than that though.
Yeah, you don't run into the full-blown like Mewtwo type stuff in the wild. There are some situations, floor note 190, when certain champions or other people may end up with them on their team.
Ooh.
And there's one particularly notable legendary that we will hope to get to at some point in this run. Let's see. 2 Surskits. So no, but then, you know, I don't. What are we doing with Water Bug? Not Drowsy. Not really Mudkip either. It's going to be resisted on both of its attacking moves. So is it
It's the time for Weedle.
But what am I gonna? What am I? But
You got this, bro.
so
I mean, does water type resist ground?
no, but oh
Does it
god.
do anything else?
Problem is, I'd also like to get a little more health on Togepi. I meant to use a potion and didn't, and now it's like, man, this
Oh,
sucks.
it's time to growl them. Use growl.
Yeah, you know what? I like that. Yeah, hit the Mudkip. We love
Oh.
that too. Yes.
Oh, good. They're using special attacks, and you're about to growl at them.
Yes. Hey, this is a team effort. I'm going to listen to you, even if it's bad. All right, this is better. As long as we get one of them out of here, I'm less concerned. Now, I think this would be
Would've
fun.
been nice if, yeah. Would have been awfully nice if Togepi had gone first, though.
Sure. You know, don't underestimate healing moves in this setting. For obvious reasons, they can be pretty good still. Because then we don't have to spend money on that. So since he wasn't much of a threat and then we were down to 1, Well, that extra level let him survive. We were not as concerned about the risks, so we might as well take a free heal before we get out of here. Okay, IV Scanner is interesting. As it suggests, it allows you to examine wild Pokemon and see which IVs are good, which can be quite handy, but it also brings an extra dialogue box in every single battle.
Yeah.
We don't love that as much. You know, the speedrunner nature, you know, we don't have time for that. Also, I have a lot of things with pretty high IVs now because I've played this a lot. So we're just gonna look at Pokeball. I don't care.
Yeah. I have stopped picking up the IV scanner.
Okay, we don't love that. So I can pull that up and see, yep, my accuracy's down 1. That's going to maintain until we switch. Of course, we're about to pull our Pokemon back because it's a trainer battle, so we're not as worried. Scald could be interesting.
Let's go.
80 power. And as you can see here, also burns. So we'll see who can learn that. Calcium is also very strong consideration. This on Togepi is quite good. So let's see who can learn Scald and go from there. Well,
Mudkip, of course.
we would probably rather our Mudkip have like Waterfall or something. Wave Crash.
Sure.
So I don't know that I want Scald given that choice. It wouldn't hurt right now. It'd give him a much better stab move than Water Gun, but we gotta think long term. We have 193 floors to go, so let's put some extra special attack on our little tiny Togepi who's really trying to grow up.